Hello YouTube, once again thank you for joining us for another tutorial. Today we are going to cover the basic function used in Excel. So we're going to be covering the function sum, averages, minimum, and maximum. So in this example we are looking at a spreadsheet that contains sales by employee. So we would like to find the total sales for specific employees in column N, as well as the average by employee, the minimum by employee, and the maximum value by employees. At the same token, we also want to find the overall uh, total sales by month, as well as the average by month, the minimum by month, and the maximum value by month. So without any further ado, we're gonna start. So I'm gonna start in this column to find the total for a specific month. So basically you click equal sum, then it asks you for number 1, so this is the first value. It asks you for number 2, the second value, number 3, and number 4. Then I can close the parenthesis to get the total. So for the month of January we had $150 generated across all employees. So in this specific example I use sum to do it, but in February, for instance, I can simply drag my formula across. It will give me the sum for February. So one thing that's good about Excel is, first I did equal sum, then I had to select the individual. I had to point my cursor to the cells that I needed to get the sum value. So instead of doing one at a time, like I did in the previous two column here, I can simply erase this and select all the cells that I'm trying to get the total. So as you see now, it's saying sum, so from D4 all the way through D7. So I can simply close my parenthesis. And for March we had $3,300 generated. There is also a another function in Excel that will give you the total sum. And if you go to your insert, actually under formula, and you see the auto sum, so if I click auto sum right here, so I have to select it and I'll put auto sum, and here you go. So you can select all the cells that you need and where you want the auto sum to be populated, and you will get the total value. I don't really use this function as much. I think to me it's just simple as typing sum and select all the cells that you would like to get the total value. So since we now know how to do it in 3 different ways, I can simply drag my formula all the way through December. So as you can see, the total values, or the total sales by month has been completed here. So now what we're gonna do is to looking at average. What's the average amount of sales we've had for any given month? So for January as an example, I'll click equal, and the function is average. So average, you open the parentheses, again very similar to the sum function. It asks you to select the cells that you would like to get the average. So I can simply select this, separate by a comma. I want this, comma, this, comma, and this, and then I close my parenthesis. So $213, that's the average of sales that we've done for the month of January. So let's do it for February. So again, average. Now instead of selecting the individual value, I can simply select across all my employees. So now you see C4 all the way through C7, and I can close the parenthesis. So for February we had $500.25, and I can drag my formula all the way through December. Very simple. So let's look at the minimum. So minimum, the function is min. You open the parenthesis, then again very similar. So I'm just gonna select my employees their sale for January to get the minimum value. Close the parenthesis. And as you can see, the minimum we've had in January was $0 for Deborah. So let's drag it down. And as you see, we have in January we had a minimum of $0. In October we had a minimum of $0, as well as in December. Now let's look at our maximum values. So the function is equal max. Then I select my employees. Close the parenthesis. And this returns the maximum values across my employees for the month of January. So $500 was the maximum, was our best sale ever for that month. Okay, and as you can see, across all month we have 2,500 was the best month. So April was the best month for this example. So now I'm gonna do the total. So now I'm looking at the total across for specific employees. How much money have they brought to our company? So for Patrick, I want to look at the sum, how much he has brought. So I'll do sum, and I'm gonna select it from January all the way through December. Close the parenthesis. So Patrick has brought $3,825 for the year. So I will just drag my formula all the way down, and as you can see, Deborah has brought $4,934 and Max has brought $6,420. So now if I want to look at the grand total, I can simply either just drag down my formula since I'm looking at the grand total here, or I could simply just do again sum, and I'm gonna sum all the value from January all the way through December. Close the parenthesis. So our grand total here, it is $18,739. Okay, so if I want to look at what's the average for our for Patrick, how much money has brought on average every single month. So I will click equal average, then I'm going to select its value from January all the way through December, and so 319, that's the average that it brings every month. So I'm gonna do it for all of my other employees. So Max is the one that's bringing about $500 35 every single month. So if I want to look at what's our average of sales by for the year, for instance, so equal average, and I will select from January all the way through December. Close the parenthesis. So on average, we've brought $1,562. Not bad. So now I want to look at what's the minimum amount of money each individual has brought to the company, right? So the min, and I'm going to select from January all the way through December. Make sure you do not select total or average because those are calculated value and you don't want that. So Patrick, the minimum he has brought was $25, and you can see that's in December. That's the lowest value, that the lowest sale that he had, and we'll just drag it down. And as you can see, we have Deborah had a minimum of 0, as well as Max a minimum of 0. So now let's see, I want to look at, okay, across all month, what is the minimum amount of sales we've generated as a company. So minimum, I select them all. So our worst month was $195, and that was in December. So I can look at the maximum value for the each employee. So I'll do max, and I'm gonna select January all the way through December. And as you can see, the maximum value for max was $1,000, and that was in August. And let me drag it down. So Max had $2,500 as his best month in April, and Deborah, her best month was June, and Jessica, her best month was in March. So let's look at what was our best month ever. So maximum, go from as a company. So I'll select all this, enter. So our best month ever, we've generated $3,300, and that was in March. So March was actually our best month. So this is how you do the basic function of sum, average, minimum, and maximum. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was informative. If you have questions, if you have concern, please leave us a comment and provide us feedback. If you've liked the video, uh, drop a like, and I will appreciate it. Subscribe as well.